What's up? Good morning.
Hello from the children of planet
All right.
Hello from the children of planet
All right. Opening market. Looks like we had overnight DD band. Hold on, wait, once again. Market is down just a little teeny bit. DD bands are still good. We're opening pretty clean. Let me make sure we're good. DD float failure yesterday. We're closing in to the bottom area of the band, which is okay. Volatility's down a little bit on the overnight, so I'm looking pretty solid for some trades today. Which I'm excited about. How are y'all doing today? In 1 minute till market opens. Let's get ready to go. Let's switch that over to the other music here. Okay. All right, y'all. What's up, friends? Smash the like button. Let's go. Let's get ready to get going. All right, time to eat my breakfast. All right. Decent sign near the bottom. Resilience is positive. See what we're doing out the door. Let's just do micros today. So your liquidity maps come through here. All right. Watching res. Reses are both opening below and popping positive, which is decent. So good morning. Home sales at 10 a.m. Yep, we have some data coming out today. Oh, 30 minutes on that. Bear short up. Resistance head twisher. Okay, good. This is an easy day. Head twisher break will take a longer than now. I'm going to sit out. Keep an eye out. Let's see if resilience is staying positive and positive, and we are threatening to fall below head twisher. Head twisher and resilience are at the same point in time. Right below, resilience could forecast a head twisher break if resilience gets positive. So let's just have some fun with this one. I thought I turned off order. Oh my God. Confirmation. Oh. Oh my goodness. All right. I need to turn off order confirmation. Oh, instant order displacement. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Res can forecast hedge break. Let's go. Let's see if that worked. trade to the top box. If we can get a BRSU. If we get a hedge pusher break today, it'd be great. Res is still hanging in there. Make sure res stays positive. Let me zoom in on this. Make sure it's really clean. Betting on hedge pusher break is the rarer case. Take things out. Just to the top of the box. About a 10-point move. We also have DD float, keeping us looking clean here. Let me zoom in on this. Res is still positive. It's looking good, so it's looking to go to the other side of the box. I'm waiting for that confirmation, though. Colin, what do you mean, yet again, no liquidity map? Everyone has liquidity maps. What is, for what? Maybe a little more specific, brother, I can help you. And it's the first time you've said anything to me here. I don't know what you're saying. I read in the chat. I'm in the middle of a trade. This isn't tech support, but I'll give you 1 minute to type what you need to say really quick before I go back to paying attention to my trade. Be a little more specific though. If you're trying to talk to me in chat, you gotta be a little more specific than a little comment like that, because it's hard to follow what you're dealing with. If you don't mind putting a full screen screenshot, tech support. But I'll try to help you real quick. Can you guys hear me now? Is it better? All right, there's that hedge pusher break to the top of the box. All right, there's my trade, $300 profit. I'm just going to flatten to top of the box. That was it. You'll see it's pretty quick, right? And look at Ralph. Ralph, can you complete your sentence, dude? What are you saying? See, I don't get it. Colin, what do you have the liquidity map indicator actually added to your charts? Literally half of the time when people don't have liquidity maps because you deleted it from your chart, it's an indicator like every other platform. You must add it to your charts. It doesn't just show up on its own. Make sure you got it there. Literally somebody was like, liquidity map hasn't worked for me for like 2 weeks. I want to cancel. So you see me with full screen screenshot. Indicator's not on their chart. And I'm like, indicator's not on your chart. And they're like, oh, I have to add it to my chart. It's an indicator, guys. Like, yes, absolutely. Little things. So make sure before you get frustrated with tech support for a reason. You literally Slacks is like, we made that everyone's default so that you would not accidentally knock it off. So I just closed my trade. That was a $300 profit. So that's pretty simple, easy peasy. Just trading to fill the gap. It's a hedge pressure break. I might buy hedge pressure support again. It gets me too. I'm a fucking idiot sometimes. I get in there and delete it myself, and I complain to my developers, and they laugh at me. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I deserve to be laughed at. I go, do liquidity maps homework, and he's like, Matt, I'm looking at your stream. You need to add it back to your charts. I'm like, I forgot to do that. I know. It happens to me too. Ralph and Colin, did you guys give up explaining what you need help with? I don't even understand the reason to say something then. Well, I help you guys. I'm here. I love y'all. Oh my goodness. Listen, you guys want the best experience possible. Don't use anything but Edge. Edge is the best browser to run programs like this in. Hands down. Superior to all of the any Chromium browser is going to be a little more memory use, memory hog. Edge is just clean and neat. That's why I use it. All right, close my position. The question now is, do I buy a hedge switcher for a second? There you go. Thanks, African. Quick map does select for QQQ. QQQ. Enter. I did select it from indicator pull down menu. It says liquidity map overlap turn. Notice on your chart. Double check 2 things for me. Make sure that you are connected, market open. Double check another thing, Ralph, that your status tab over here, all of these things are connected. If not, click reconnect. If anything, switch tickers and come back and see if it populates. And last but not least, delete your cookies or clear your cookies, your local storage, all that stuff, and just reset your stuff to defaults. Sometimes during the patching, you could just lodge yourself into some kind of thing, but usually switching tickers and coming back works. Yeah. So Kevin and Ralph, can you guys post in tech support? Our developers have pretty much fixed everything that people have reported in tech support. We're trying to get all these little details done. So if you don't report it there, not going to get fixed, they're going to move on and leave that problem there. If they don't, because we don't see that problem that you see. If you guys help me out, Kevin, appreciate it, and Ralph, and even Colin. Get a full screen screenshot. Say what browser you're using. Say what experience you have, and if you can, go to the console in your browser. You know what the console is, right? And grab all that code, all that text, and just copy it, and then deliver it to them. Hey, here's the console output, by the way. If this will help you in your troubleshooting, give them that information, and they'll be really, they'll immediately get on it for you guys. You logged out and logged back in. Well, that happens a lot of the times whenever you stay logged in overnight and we patch overnight. If you don't log in, log out, and log in. Usually we expire your token, so you have to log back in. But that usually will fix updating your platform for you. QQQ didn't draw. Interesting. Yeah, can you guys all post that up? I'm curious to see. I didn't have QQQ open this morning, so I didn't get that either. Or I didn't get that chance to see it. So a lot of, and I'll let you guys know, a lot of the drawing issues or display issues have to do with the idea that it's designed to pop up right when it happens, and we're redesigning the architecture on this, so it's going to be like a completely different ball game. Now, the question was, did I want a bear long up? So I did get a nice little $300 profit. Yeah, I saw this morning. The question is resilience strong enough for me to long? We popped through here. We came down here. Do I want to long? And the answer is I'm kind of nervous with NASDAQ being negative and S&P being slightly negative. Did y'all see my quick trade? Did y'all see that today? Textbook. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people spend all day long trying to guess at the market, whatever. I know I just took like one contract to make $300, like 10 micros. Not that big of a deal, not that much money, but $300 in like 5 minutes of work is not a terrible idea. And the honestly idea is like, what do I do from here? Is like, do I have to do anything at all? If I don't like anything, I can sit out. And here I am just 10 minutes in the market. We have catalysts coming up. I'm not risking much. And that's it. You can make your career off of like 10, 15 minutes worth of trading as long as you're picky like I am. Did my dog get frozen? Made the trade? No, he's asking me a question. Nope. One thing. So as long as you're picky, you don't have to sit there and guess and play chop all day long. Just strike first, strike hard, get in, get out. This is a pretty simple textbook setup that anybody not understand what I did. I longed out the door right here. We're down here. There's a video we have called Resilience Predicts Hedge Pusher Break. Resilience being a higher ranking indicator. Any positive resilience when you're below the box, you trade at the top of the box. And see how easy this was for me? Quick and easy, quick and dirty. Now, what do I do from now is decide what I want to do. Resilience is below the box, but now we've broken through hedge pressure, so it's irrational. It's going to be hard to read from now on. One would take a trade if one were to make a trade like myself to go in there. I would do risk and reward off of here, 1 point below, trade to something top side. We are inside DD bands, pretty nice and clean here. So there's a lot of upside move today, but I'm going to wait for this catalyst to come through. NASDAQ is right on the edge of bottom DD, so it's going to be like a float situation on NASDAQ. So let's watch NASDAQ really quick. Yeah, if you log out and log back in, things should be good. What a lot of times, and let me make sure. One thing. All right, so I'm just chilling. Why did I not take a second long, ladies and gentlemen? Resilience wasn't strong enough to take it. This green candle did not fool me, and I sat out. Roxy got to be the best trading platform on the planet. God, it's just sitting here like all my rules are just pretty solid today. Resilience is less than 0. Here's a tricky green candle. How many bulls out there jumped in on this? Not people here. None of y'all are faked out by that. How many people saw this red candle and I'm the first person in on that red candle, and then on the green I'm the first person out? That was my trade today. Here's a second green candle and I go, oh, resilience can predict hedge pressure break. Oh, but it's not positive. So we're back below where we started. How cool is that? Everybody get that? Everyone see this? Any questions? This is pretty legit. Easy go. And oh my gosh, why was MHP turned off here? I must have accidentally turned it off yesterday. Okay, watch out for VIX hedge pressure breaks and VIX bull zone bottom. The explosion has happened, right? This is a hold on. This should trigger that alert. Let me double check this. Let me double check this one. So be careful today on this one. Spontaneous volatility. You guys here? Y'all follow today? So it's going to be irrational now that hedge pressures have broken. So what you're going to see is that resilience might have a little bit of a delay instead of a leading effect. Once you start breaking hedge pressure, markets can move faster like at different paces. So like the SPY can move a lot faster than the stocks can move. So sometimes it'll pull itself first for resilience looks better. Now this is looking pretty solid for a smaller position to the upside. If I want to take a second trade, which let me see if I can maybe do a couple micros on this new hedge break. Yeah. Let's see when time we have our catalysts come through. Just a couple, nothing too crazy. Pending home sales in 12 minutes. Let's let that simmer. I'm not gonna trade into a catalyst. That's gonna be one of the bigger catalysts, I think, for the week. Hard to take a small position. Now you need to be very careful. We want VIX to stay here. I'll pre-prep with some micros if we do get it. All right, market's looking solid today. Pretty solid and readable. Okay, this I don't like. Remember, these are two irrational rolls on VIX. If VIX has any ability to hedge itself higher, spontaneous volatility can happen. So I'm not going to long this. Everybody see this? This is bad news. This is two irrational signals in a row today. It's such an easy trading day today. Quick in, quick out, and then I'm doing nothing else. It doesn't mean that I'm going to make a lot or lose a lot today, but a lot of base hits is a trading career. You don't have to think about fighting or gambling all day long. When you see an opportunity, you take it, and that's what scalping and day trading especially is. A lot of that's about that. When you see the opportunity, get it, get out, and you know what you're exploiting. A quick exploit of something that you know is very common. You can just take it. Risk and reward is pretty clean on that one too. It's not, like I said, not a big win, but you know, since it's a small run, I only put in, you know, one mini worth of work. Not a lot of risk on the table. You know, it's $100, $150 if I was wrong, kind of thing. Res is sitting right on the edge too, so the pending home sales is going to be the big catalyst for today, I think. Or so where you can open multiple charts on the same browser instead of opening multiple browsers. We designed it not to do that. You mean like how TradingView does it? It's less, because TradingView is like mostly focused on charting, and all we did was source their charts for our platform. Since we have multiple widgets, right? It'd be weird to have multiple windows of charts like TradingView has it, and then multiple pop-out windows. So like, for instance, people with multiple monitors, this is a universal solution for people with multiple monitors, or people that want to pop out multiple scanners, or people want to pop out multiple small charts, or other widgets we have. You're able to pop out, arrange them on your screen. So to have like internal divisions like TradingView has, like you drop that grid down, we decided against doing that. Or like Thinkorswim to like draw it in a grid. Yeah. So the idea is that you pop out one chart and then internally you can make a grid of those charts. All that would do is a convenience change. So we could do that if people wanted it. It just, because it's not a higher priority thing, it would be on the list. If enough people are like, we want that, we can surely do that for sure. We just kind of guess, like when we're releasing things, we guess based on our experience with you guys and our own experience, what we think is the highest priority item that affects the most people. We do this like risk matrix and project matrix analysis. Like, what's the impact this has? Okay, how many people does it impact? How frequent does it impact? And so we use matrix like that and design our projects around it. And believe it, we know we run a serious company here. And so when we look at something like that, when we actually voted that down as the first thing to add, I said, no, go bigger, make it multiple windows. Now, the reason for that was to accommodate more people and to pop out the other widgets. So it was a quicker thing so that you wouldn't just only have charts and then come back around and design the other thing. Because we thought, you know, if you need multi-charts, you can just do it this way. But if it's a little less convenient, then let us know. And of course, convenience changes. We're always about making things cooler and easier to use. I'd love to have both options too. I didn't turn it down for personal preference. I turned it down for project reference. And you have to think about it. When we have a million things to make, automating DD bands, getting features in here, the thing, like all the stuff we have to make, if we do all the nice to haves along the way, we wouldn't be as far as we are today with our development. So now it's like the way the projects are working now is that we're doing optimization first. As Ralph had said something about like beta. If you guys weren't here when we made these decisions, we actually had the community vote on them. We told you guys 6 months ago, we're going to add features to the platform and we're going to add all these new things. I'm going to let you guys vote. Do you want us to make all these cool things you want now and fix the bugs later? Or do you want us to slowly roll them out little bit by little bit? People are like, no, let's get the features, you know. That's what the $35 price point is for. We understand we're paying the extended trial because, you know, you're going to put out the features first and we want the features and we'll work it out later. Everyone was on the same page. It was almost unanimous. And so now it was a choice of project. Anytime you work with a company that does project design, you guys do fast track projects. It's understood that fast track projects come with a lot of change orders at the end because you're gonna meet a certain scope and a deadline at some point faster than your traditional bug test. So we're not doing all the steps we normally would do. So we get the features to where we are now. We have to race to market first and then turn around and go back and fix some of these minor bugs. And that was a project as an executive choice. So it's not just like it's a surprise to everyone. It should be a surprise to you though, because you're new. We asked everybody and they're like, no, let's get features, let's get DD bands, let's get all that stuff automated. So we did. So when it comes down to like when you have to choose a bunch of nice to haves, we can't just sit here and churn all the nice to haves up front. The project, the scope for that is like after we do optimization, we're branching the development to 4 different paths. And one of the paths is going to be UX optimization. So that's where your nice to haves are going to come in. So on the wish list, you guys go populate that with what you want. Now, the pros and cons of the development is that right now we are front and center in market in the middle of a bull market, right? We have platforms working well, everything's great. I can trade live futures, and now we're dealing with some minor display bugs, and that's basically it, which is fucking awesome. Our fast track project was very cautious along the way. We don't have like platform breaking bugs for everybody. We have things that on the matrix affect like 5 to 10% of you, and they're small in their display, and if you refresh, it fixes it. Like, so the idea is that ain't half fucking bad for our team to actually come out, and it's like the platform's not like broken or anything. Just certain browsers have certain display issues. Sometimes you have to refresh, log out, log in. And so those little things, it's a huge success where we are. So I'm very excited that we actually rush as fast as we could and get here. And the platform actually has, you know, like very good stability with what it is. Now we're redesigning the architecture right now for memory issues and things like that to be solved, or also the way the platform communicates with the servers. And that architecture redesign is for scale up. We're planning on taking our active user base to 10,000 next year or two. So we're scaling up. So we're building all this stuff for it. Plus, trust me when I tell you guys, it's a 24-hour day job for me. So I love it though. They're grid add-ons you can get for every browser, make it for like a single tile tab. Oh, that's kind of cool, Polygon. If you guys can put in tech support any of these ideas, we'd love to change it. The UX optimization and design projects that are coming up are going to be for like just little nice to haves. And so we want to make sure we capture everybody's nice to haves, whatever you want. All right, so we're back in the clear on UVXY. We're looking good here. This is pushing higher. Like I said, this was hard to read, clearly because when you have hedge pressure breaks, resilience loses its leading effect sometimes because the velocity gets bigger on one of them. So an example is this. Say that like SPY and futures are normally trading like this, right? Or SPY and the stocks. And SPY deviates a little bit and stocks deviate a little bit. Resilience picks it up. Resilience is a leading indicator that stocks are going to jump up and chase the SPY. Okay, cool. And so that happens and SPY rallies just like we saw here. But once you have a hedge pressure break, the deviations can be very strange. Like SPY can move very quickly relative to stocks. And it could sell really quick and stocks can move really quick. And it kind of oscillates a little bit before it catches back up. And that oscillation causes the implied value of SPY to not catch up fast enough. So when markets are irrational, we say that resilience is not as good of a leading indicator. It's normally just an indicator at par with the market. When markets are rational before hedge pressure breaks, like right at the start of the day, if you don't have any irrational signals, the rationalization is that the index always follows the stocks. The stocks will move first, the index will trail it. Now, the reason that the S&P moved faster than resilience's leading indicator could pick it up is because the S&P is moving faster than the stocks. It's getting squeezed on its own. And then you'll see that in irrational markets. So anytime there's a hedge pressure break, you use resilience with a grain of salt as far as a leading indicator. Like I didn't say, okay, resilience is negative now. We've broken through hedge pressure, resilience is negative, market's going to collapse. I didn't say that at all. I'm cautious and that just kept me from longing. So I missed out on a long just because I already made a profit today. But I'm also waiting for a catalyst to come out in 1 minute or an event to come out in a minute. It could be a catalyst, so I'm waiting for that. Does everyone understand when markets are rational, the probability of resilience being a leading indicator, minutes to hours at times, leads the market is extremely high. When markets are irrational, you want resilience to be above 10 or less than negative 10 to really get a strong signal. And that's the way I kind of take it. So because it wasn't in that range of kind of gray area, since we allow a little lag time in irrational markets, clearly the red light is irrational. I didn't take a long on that because it wasn't strong enough. All right, 2 minutes home sales again come through. Aratai, exactly. Monthly maps like bulls are fleeing. We had a whole conversation about it yesterday. I need to post that up for you guys in the Zoom calls. So the Pro Plus members here, if you upgrade to Pro Plus, you have this amazing deal going on. If you're in the extended trial, you don't have access to this. We have a daily Zoom call where we educate and coach, and we talk about a lot of things. Yesterday was a huge conversation about monthly maps. So look at that later. Hello, bro. Thank you because last week you shared. Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you. Oh, somebody talking about a Telegram group. All right. Sweet. Somebody. Random bot posting about Telegram groups. All right. You love it. Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea too. It just comes down to like everybody has things they want. And so the things that people wanted most, like all the alerts. When we made the changes for multi-charts, we didn't have alerts yet. We didn't have automated liquidity map visual yet. All right, kind of wait on this, see the new home sales coming out. Let me take a look at the read. Sales coming out. Or sorry, pending home sales. Take a look at the read here. This is a decent long power here on the market. Wait a minute. NAR changes the number of contracts under contract to be sold with still awaiting closing transactions, including new construction. Okay, so not new construction. So these are people flipping houses. These are pending homes. So these are homes under contract to be sold, but they haven't. But still awaiting the closing transaction. It means they have a chance to be canceled. But these are people that put an offer in a house and they're at the closing table and get ready to go. Those are down for whatever reason. That's a big down. This is what, the month over month compared to last month. And I would expect a big down if the last month. Now, again, the reasoning for what would be causing this, everybody, is probably seasonality. I don't know if people are getting cold feet or that's just because it's the start of the school year. Usually it's the start of the school year that makes home sales down. People don't, people tend to not buy houses. So the actual number itself, or people don't tend to move as much in the fall when kids are finally going back to school. You don't want your kid to start a month at one school and then move to another school, right? That's just the trend on that one. Y'all get that one, right? It's pretty easy. So relatively speaking, the fall months, if you need some seasonality kind of like understanding, tends to be less than the beginning of the year. Here's example 2020, 2021, September. Now this is COVID, so let's ignore that one. But you tend to have some seasonality towards the end of the year. I think it's normal. No, that's just a general. Now that would be in home sales in general. Now the pending home sales, I don't know if it still kind of has similar lowering. Like you get your spikes closer to the beginning of the year, the end of the school year, like summer, things like that. Here's a summer spike. Here's a May spike, right? So in general, you don't expect like a decline in the fall, but it's gonna be less than what it was in the summer, and that's just generic trend that you'd want. It's random, right? People will buy houses based on the market. The market's great in the fall, and they probably won't care if they get a good deal. But in general, most part, year over year, the end of the school year, the spring and summer, is typically higher than the fall, and that's a trend to take out of this one. So the idea is that when you're reading what you have here, look at that. Everybody, guess we have Amjad stepped in here. Everybody say hey to Amjad. He's the guardian angel of Rocket Scooter. He even came over here to answer Colin Pardo's question at the start of the day. I love it. I love that our tech team is coming in here and ready to pounce on you guys' concerns or any issues you have. What's up, Amjad? So glad to see you here, man. So anyways, it being down, is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's kind of, I mean, it's the lowest month over month change that we've seen since a long time. Probably since October of last year. So the change is pretty drastic. Is that something to take note of? Not the best thing in the world. And I think just in general, the higher interest rates are making this the pending sales index go down. And I think because like inflation, other things, just people are less likely to sell. I think like new homes are a little stronger than existing. People getting out of house and moving in, and the idea that people just can't afford to do so because the higher premiums require higher down payments and the higher interest rates, is scaring people out of selling the house they already have and moving into a new one. So a combination of that, inflation and high interest rates have just been driving this number lower. And I think that's expected. So how's the market going to respond to that? I think it's understood that housing prices are very expensive now. It's like a double-edged sword, right? People have people are holding their house because it has a high value, or people are not moving to a new one because they don't want to be trapped in a high interest rate. So people are holding on to assets that are appreciating in value. So it's not necessarily bad news for the economy. It's a testament to people knowing their houses are way valuable and they're going to be penalized by moving with the high interest rate and have to deal with all that. So people are just sitting par on this, which means it's gonna. Does that? No, I'm just exploring out loud. Does that point to the idea that there's a bubble, or does it point to the idea that there's a pending problem here? I don't think so. I think that's going to be a spot problem for that industry, though. That builders going to have some time struggling. I wonder how, like, some of these other companies. Let's see. Let me look at. I forget the ticker. Let's see what. I always forget the. Let's look at some of these other ones. What are the tickers for? Let's look at Lennar. Let's see how they're responding to news. Pretty okay. These are builders. Let's look at DR Horton. See if they're all just bullish-ish or just hanging tight. Looks like it's a little. I'm just gonna look at all the ones. Toll Brothers up, percent. Pulte up, a percent. I don't think any of the home builders are really carrying on. It's not really affecting them. I'm just curious what they're doing. I would think that they would more likely be where the sale would come from. As in, like, if I want to buy an existing home, I need to convince somebody to sell their home and buy another one so I can take the one off their hands. So I'm more likely to buy a new home from a builder who's trying to unload it as quick as they can. And so I think that the idea that the world that we're in, like, new construction is going to drive home sales more than existing. Yeah. 330 between two accounts. You left spreading risk among multiple accounts. Should have been doing this months ago. I'm reading what you said. All right. You're saying go ahead and keep fixing bugs. Use laptop, use HMI. So that came in thinking, be cool to save layout. No, I don't disagree. Like, I honestly, it's like I want everything like that as well. I want to have as many options as possible. It just came down to when we have a million things to make, we have to take it on a path and hit certain milestones and certain targets. And so we couldn't build everything like those little nice to haves, but I think it's a great idea. If you put it in wish list, I'll see if we can't do something towards the front end of the UX changes. Oh yeah. It's all about project management, right? We have to have this whole discussion. Not everything. We can't just, like, we have to use like a little matrix to kind of decide what's important or not. Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. What's up? What's over? All right, so market's looking pretty okay. Looks like we can rally and move towards CD bands. I'm looking here, risk interval. Pulling up Let's look at Nasdaq real quick. You know, essentially, you know, that VIX scare is out of the way now. Things are looking pretty solid. I do like what I see. You know, obviously, support at the top of the box is what I'm looking for now, because now things are kind of a little clear and stable. If we get to here, and if res is greater than 10, I might scrape together a little tiny long to go forward. I'm happy with the scalp I made, though. Like I said, little base hits here and there. Market's just kind of sitting in a 10-point range today. Is really nothing to get super excited about. How'd y'all do today in your trades? Anybody make any decent trades today? There's really nothing else to say other than it looks pretty decent for the long side. We have a hedge pusher break to the upside. There's no shorting today. Like if I look the market and I wanted to short it, I've got no evidence to short. Everything's looking solid. DD is looking pretty solid too. So how far can we go? Worst case scenario. Let me give some plans today that I'm looking at. Or sorry, best case scenario. Again, like we always talk about using the DD cheat sheet, we touch bull zone and come back in. That's always a possibility on an irrational hedge break. Can start to move pretty quick. We all know how those. And we go to the platform features overview in Discord. I'm going to pull up the cheat sheet that shows this. We all know how our cheat sheets work. Let's pop up resilience really quick. Scout here. Y'all know where your cheat sheets are, right? Everybody uses Rocket Scooter. These nice little graphics that give you all the platform information analyzed. DD float took place today. We'll talk about that in the Zoom call. Let's look at DD ratio bullish. Just pull this guy up here. And the EVXY. Let's talk about the bull zone bottom rule. These are all affected today. Okay. One at a time. Quickly. Resilience. Resilience positive. Positive resilience. You look for any half gap tie to break to the upside. You look for any bottom side of the box to break to the top side of the box. This is my scalp today. It's the perfect exploit. Perfect. We're trading below the box with positive resilience. Everybody can see that. It's very simple. Let's make this bigger. Okay. Positive resilience. We're trading at the bottom of the box. I just jumped in on a long here, scalped it to fill the gap. Very quick. You have to be quick on those to get them. As an easy trade. It happens a lot. Once you see it, and you can kind of, it's in and out and done. So I did that pretty much. I was on stream. The next step is let's analyze where we are now. Resilience is positive. It's greater than 10, which is good in an irrational market. Top of box is support, and you can see the top of box is supporting. We're pushing higher. I'd be willing to long off of the box if res was greater than 10 in an irrational market. Only if res greater than 10, I would long from here. And there's exits like somewhere in here. Now for, let me just talk about res really quick. Stop loss, other side of hedge pressure. Let's look at DD ratio real quick. This ratio is 91. Definitely very bullish. Still bullish. Open and bear zone. Tap the bull zone at the highest point that I look for today. And that's the highest I look for today. Which again is here. So the highest I look for is here. So any particular break, I'll take profit there and close out because it likely closes back in here more often than not. Okay, so let's path it out. That looks good. Again, my stop is here. My exits are there. My final destination is there. Let's look at hedge pressure breaks on UVXY or bull zone bottom. Same thing to the upside. Anytime VIX has the ability to rally itself higher, it's a caution. The light turns yellow. It turned yellow this morning for a little bit. So we entered a bull zone and it's a ticking time bomb. Anytime VIX is trading through its own bull zone or VIX is bouncing up hedge pressure and going, anytime VIX has the ability to pivot higher off of something, we take caution. So just like right here, this moment in time was when the ticking time bomb, the fuse is lit. You're walking around with a lit bomb. Right? Of me saying words like that don't trigger some algo on YouTube. This is Wile E. Coyote style, Zelda style cherry bomb. It's like a firecracker. At any point in time, volatility can erupt. And so as we're seeing there, it's hard to see it on the smaller chart. Let me make it on the bigger chart here. Just in the middle of the morning, right? We're talking this was happening 9:48. Let's pull up 9:48. Right? You can see that right here. Exactly here. Right? The market just starts to kind of wobble a little bit. You see how it's flat, flat, flat. Market opens, and then all of a sudden it's chilling, and it gets those big red candles. That's what happens when volatility threatens to move higher. You know volatility's coming around, and so you need it to get down in here to be safe. The little gust of wind blows out the fuse, and you're good. Anytime it peaks back in, it's still danger again. Anytime it peaks out, it's good. So you just know volatility's there. So if you're challenging this kind of move, all you do is you trade small, because you know you can cost average in at a lower spot to get your cost basis better, just in case volatility makes it chop around a little bit, and you still have a fixed stop on that. So this is no longer a problem today. We're good. The last thing is the float. Float is something we experience in NASDAQ. Anytime you get closer to the bottom bands when this is a bullish setup. So again, irrational market greater than 0.6, check. It's 0.9. It's going to push away from the green bands more often than not. And here's your NASDAQ this morning. You see the DD float. When DD float fails, like yesterday, when it fails, we close out and walk away for the day. When it float, when you're getting close to it, there's that repulsive force. We always talk about it. And it's so neat to see that happen. People are always like, what is this float thing? You see those wicks right here? Wicks. You see those wicks? There's just like some magic buying power that exists right on the edge of that band. It happens all the time. Now, if the selling pressure is enough to push against that natural hedging from there, then the market is unstable and we just don't trade it. But I expect it to hold more often than it doesn't. I usually trade that it does. So all day today, I wouldn't be shorting anyways because I'd expect a resistance against me for float. See how that works? All of our rules, just simple. Oh God, here's literally as I'm talking, I'm totally not even paying attention, and that happened. There's the bounce off the box. That would have been the scalp that I should have entered it on. And see, Ralph, when you say, Matt, why don't you give a play-by-play when you're talking? I can't do it. I miss trades. So if I do the play-by-play from the sidelines, look at this. I missed out on a trade. There's another $300-400. And so, like I said, when you asked me last week, it's really hard to slam dunk a basketball and explain every move you make why you do it. You see how I'm saying, Ralph? Now you believe me? Look, I missed out on the trade I wanted to do. I was not paying attention for a second. That's why when I'm trading live, I'm usually more quiet. Where's your evidence, Ralph? See, I can't multitask. Or I'm typing to like tech support and my developers to like guide them on this project. It's really hard to trade, stream, tech support, and educate all at the same time. I miss trades. But as I drew it on the screen and I'm giving you the rundown of what I would do, I missed it. You have to understand that I won't always be as descriptive as why I'm doing what I'm doing, so you gotta pay attention or rewind the stream. So now that I'm focused on my challenge, I'm gonna be really quiet, closer to being quiet on the streams. I just feel like I wish I had like 6 arms and 3 brains. Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, you agree with me, is last week I told you it's harder, a lot harder, to explain all the things I'm doing while I'm doing them. As I just did, I'll miss out on something. Normally when you're trading, you're not going to be doing that. You're going to be focusing on what you want. But just to show you that what I drew is kind of what I wanted to see happen. You guys can see the play I wanted to make. So I'm very, very rarely like able to do that consistently. Today's cool though, I don't mind. I already took my trade and sat out. But normally, I'd be ready to strike on it. Don't be quiet, think out loud. No, I was just thinking out loud. I don't want to. Oh my god. I just missed. Thinking out loud is another $300 I could have made. We're going to do all education on Zoom. That was my point the other day. The stream is just going to be entertainment. Coaching will be in the Zoom calls. talking about the trade I did and why I did it. Zoom call. YouTube is no longer going to be like an educational conduit. Just me trading on the platform. And if you want to know why I'm doing what I'm doing, I may not answer you. That was what I said. You'll have to know that play-by-plays will do in the Zoom calls after. Imagine you guys struggling to become profitable traders, right? And you're getting there. Imagine you doing that while teaching, coaching, streaming, tech support, developing a platform. Imagine we pulled 5 different ways and then trying to trade in between. It's kind of like fucking Magnus Carlsen, the Grandmaster chess player, like playing 20 games at once. You just peek in real quick, you see the opportunity to make your master move and walk away. It's so hard to like just be pulled 50 different directions, like playing 10 games at once, right? It's almost impossible to like be at your A game. So I just say you guys have some love for what we do over here, because I'm still trading. Imagine you struggling with trading, and imagine you struggling with trading, balancing 10 other things. So we do the best we can. So we love you guys. A little difficult to forget. Okay, can you see on video? Yeah, let's take a look at it. Let's look at the monthly maps today as well. But I got somebody sent me a message, told me to enter this World Cup trading championship thing. It starts in October. It's like a 1 quarter thing. I asked him, I said, can I use my CQG account with Dorm? And they're like, no, you have to sign up for our brokerage. So a lot of these challenges make you go put money in their account and trade it. I might go do it just to flex. Like, I don't care about somebody was like, you should. Somebody told me, they go on Twitter, because people know like I'm the trading challenge person. Like they've seen me over the last 5 years do crazy trading challenges. I did like a 5K to 50K in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna make 50K in a month. I'm gonna aggressively trade it just for fun. And I said like one time I'm gonna take this. I mean, I've done so many of them. It's just countless ones. So somebody was like, there's some guys on Twitter that are all like, it's like that Spider-Man meme. Hold on. Y'all have seen the meme, right? Where like the Spider-Man, like pointing at Spider-Man, right? Where it's like essentially like the text is like you. No, you. No, you. It's basically just people pointing at each other. You do it. No, you do it. And then like making excuses when you're. There's like 3 traders, and they're all like educators and streamers, I guess. And they're all, according to the person that messaged me, terrible traders and fakes or whatever. And they're all like calling each other out to enter this World Cup thing. And they're like, I'll do it if you do it. Well, I'll do it if you do it. Well, did you do it? Well, I didn't do it. Well, you did. I didn't do it because you didn't do it. Well, I didn't do it because you didn't do it. And you said you would, and I didn't. And well, I did it, and you didn't jump. And here's why. He's like, hey, Matt, why don't you just go in there, enter it silently, and just win it? And he said, if you do, I'll respond to every tweet of theirs with the scoreboard, with your name on it. It was like, it's just what people are so weird in this industry. I just don't understand it. It's a lot of untalented people trying to pretend they have talent and scared to prove that they do, and then that's why they yell and scream at each other on social media. Nvidia is looking pretty solid here. So anyways, they were like, you should enter it because you're likely to win and it'd be funny. And I was like, I don't really care to be part of drama. I know I'm better than all those people. I ain't never seen any of them post a single broker statement or nothing for the year, and stats, nothing. They just all talk. And like, there's no honor in Michael Jordan walking up to a junior high and slam dunking on a 12-year-old. I was like, I mean, I can go in there and stomp on an anthill if you guys want me to, but I was like, I'm not going to be bragging about it. I'll just walk in and win, walk away. But but they were showing me like some tweets between all these people, and it's just like, who would be someone that would sell trading education or trading tools or trading whatever and not actually show live trades on a daily basis? Like they don't use their own tools. Yet people still buy it. I don't get it. I don't get it. People follow people who don't make trades and learn from them. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's terrible, terrible, terrible idea. Terrible form. Trading is not about drawing charts well or having good indicators. Trading is about how you behave under pressure, how you handle your emotions when you're losing money. That art form is why you watch somebody, to watch them maneuver themselves under stress and pressure. Not someone with a good technical read or something with a good way of reading charts. That's not real trading. That's just charting. Trading is the other half of the coin, is how you actually gamble your money right. That's what you should watch people learn. You want to learn about like charting and stuff, you can get free YouTube videos or free textbooks teach you all this stuff. Tons of books. You want to watch someone trade, you want to watch somebody and how they maneuver their position, how they manage their risk under pressure. That's what you're trying to watch. You don't want to watch an astronaut turn a wrench on that space station during a spacewalk. Like, how are they handling themselves under this? That's the way you guys want to be. So Nvidia's looking pretty solid still. Looking strong-ish for like dip to buy. I think Nvidia's probably going to bottom out somewhere in here. I don't think we're going to fill the gap. I think it's going to hang tight. This is bullish on monthly map on Nvidia, by the way. At least in the short term. Ralph, stop asking me to do something I'm not going to do. I'm going to mute you on the stream again. Let me just say it straight out. I don't care to do that. You guys want to learn how I think, you're going to come to the Zoom call. And that's it. I'm not going to be giving a play-by-play while I'm trading. Because I don't want to. I want to focus and kill it instead. When I'm out of a trade, I'll talk about why I did what I did, but I'm going to be very focused when I'm in trades going forward. So if I'm riding a motorcycle, I'm not going to be running my mouth and be staring at the ground looking for potholes. It's not negotiable. You gotta stop asking me to do things I don't want to do. This YouTube, no offense, this YouTube is just to show what I do using the platform. That's it. Just to show. Not show and tell, is show. You guys get a free ticket to the show. Come watch the show. That's it. The interacting, to ask me questions, that's what we say the Zoom call is typically for. All right, we're getting the hedge pressure tap. Should I buy it? Hedge pressure. Do I want to do that? It doesn't keep you focused if you're ADHD like me. Adderall keeps you focused. But if I am focused on 5 different things I need to be focused on right now. I know this stemmed from an idea that a couple weeks ago you guys are like, or you, not you guys, you were trying to ask me to like coach more in these live streams. I don't get up and, let's just be honest. Let's just be real with you for a second. I don't get up and work for free on a free live stream to give out free trading tips and trading advice. That's not what this is for. You want to get the coaching or anything, we do Zoom calls every day. That's what that's for. This is just a demonstration of using the platform. Okay, what I want to do now, maybe I'm glad I set out. Let me think of this. We open below hedge pressure. We're likely to close below hedge pressure. Do I want to stay on the sidelines? Or do I want to take a stab at this long with small micros? I'm going to do R&R on small micros. I don't know what upside I want to go for, though. QQ lost half cap. Oh, yeah. Let's take a look at Qs real quick. Let's keep an eye on VIX today as well. Yeah, I don't know if I want to touch it. I don't usually bet on hedge pressure breaks turning to breakouts. So I am going to not do anything from here.
Res is just sitting right on the edge at the bottom of the box. It's less than 10, so I don't like it. Now, I could take an R&R trade as long as UVXY hits 17 and bounces off of it. I can take that stability trade. Let's look at the turn of the hour. I like to see the last 30 minutes run down into European market close being where decisions are made. So let's see how Europe reacts. They close in an hour. I agree with you, Body Tech. Res just looks wonky today. It's right on the edge. So that's an R&R trade is there. The risk and reward is like, what do I want to do? I don't dislike what I'm seeing. And remember, yes, I'm a little worried. We did fill the gap yesterday on futures, right? Then we fill that gap. I say not futures, on SPY. No, we did. God, don't listen to anything I'm saying. Futures. Here. Right? We closed in and filled the gap. Now it's not a gap, this is just a roll. Rollover. But psychologically people treat these like gaps. Even though they're not really gaps. Chartists didn't think of these psychologically sometimes have impact when you get to them. I will answer those questions as much as I can, but just promise when I'm live trading, my point was don't get upset with me if I'm not available while I'm balls deep in the trade. It's not that not only is it hard for me to like I'll miss out on opportunities that I want to take. I also just don't care to do that on the show. I don't need to be gambling. I don't think I'm going to do anything. The signal is strong from here, but betting on hedge pressure breaks in irrational markets is just hard to do because it's hard to, you typically want the market to sustain a bull move that opens in a bull move, but breaking into a bull move is really hard to, you want to take risk after the trade I've already made. I think I'm cool today. What's the account at? So I made $300 today. Okay, so the balance doesn't update in real time. So it's 54.76 from the $5,000 start. Remember, this is a small account challenge I was doing before. So 5,000 is at what, almost 5,500 right now. So I'm already at 10%. So the balance apparently only updates once a day, as I've been noticing. So I'm going to put in an order for them to. So this is a 5K to 100K challenge. The one that we paused a long time ago. Still there. Still pushing on it. That's why I'm not going to overtrade either, right? I'm just going to take a good up 10% for the week. I'm not complaining. Or 10% for that account.
I usually started out slow. You always, why are they sick of the event? Oh, thanks, Josh. Are you setting a max position size? Just your total balance again? I am, but I didn't today. I pushed a little harder today. Normally I would. I'm limiting myself to 10 micros, 1 mini, which is about double what I should be doing. But as I found over time, it's $5,000 in the account. It's not a lot of money. But in general, I should grind it out. Here. Let me give you an example of why I'm doing a little faster now. So like in gardening, right? I garden. I sprouted some cilantro, right, from seedlings. I mean, from seeds. And like once they were growing, and then they're like, you get halfway, you grind it out, and you're like, you proved that you can grow and hatch some you can germinate some cilantro seeds, and now you got cilantro seedlings, and all of a sudden you go on vacation and leave them in the sun and forget about them, and then they die. When you come back and you go buy the plant that's already out, and then you just plant that instead. You're like, you know what? I can start all the way over, but I proved that I can do that. So let me just skip ahead a little bit. I got into treating it like that. Remember the first trading challenges I did? I would follow all my risk rules completely to showcase that. But then what happens is it's just such a slow grind at the start. It's not even that fun for people to watch. It's exciting to watch. You know, you make 50, 60 bucks a day and grind out, even though that's what you should be doing. This challenge, I'm saying I'm going to do the cilantro thing, where I'm going to play double the risk I normally would do. And if it burns out, then I just start over. But I want to pick it up a little faster to have more maneuverability, because I want this to kind of pick up some momentum sooner rather. I want to get to like the middle of the challenge faster rather than later. Going from 5K to 10K with normal rules could take a month to do, month plus. It's just a slow grind. So I'm going to skip the slow grind and just showcase what I do with a little faster pace risk, which means I'm going to take fewer trades. So I'm changing my technique a little bit. I'm taking fewer trades and only trades I'm very convinced at. Oh, there's that hedge bounce. It is looking pretty okay there. I know Mansour says, when I get time for gardening. I know, right? My every single day, as soon as I get off of the YouTube stream, that's exactly what I go do in the morning before the sun comes out. I go tend to my garden. This morning I'm gonna go pollinate my squash plants. You may grow squash, you'll know your male plants usually bloom a little sooner. And it's been windy lately, so it knocks some of the flowers off. So I'm going to go out there and the females just started opening up. So I'm going to quickly pollinate them before the wind knocks everything. I went on bees here on the 4th floor of my city balcony. So I got to go out there with a Q-tip. I usually do for about like 30 minutes to an hour. Just move things around. I just make sure everything's good. I do all organic gardening, so no pesticides or anything. And it's on a balcony on my rooftop. So like I used to have a house with a yard. Before I had this house. This is a city house, so I'm tall, skinny box. But being on the 4th floor, balcony of my house, it was really big balcony. It's 15 by 20, which is huge. I have usable space with no shade. So I get direct sun, so man, I can grow any fruiting plant like you won't believe. Grows so fast in that full sunlight. It's good. So I go in, I usually just tend to the garden after the stream, wind down for like 20, 30 minutes. Usually there's not much to do. And then I get back to it. And then at night, when the sun goes down again, I'll go bring the plants or whatever. That's my way of after I work out. So every night I work out to wind down at least 1 hour a day. I do F45, I do yoga, I do Pilates. F45 is brutal. I go to like Barry's boot camp and do CrossFit style interval training. So that usually like drains me. Come home, we cook dinner, and then I
to the garden. And I'm always like responding to you guys while I'm doing that too. So I'm like doubling down. Got an elevator. Dude, I go up 4 flights of stairs multiple times a day. It's ridiculous. My bedroom's on the 3rd floor. So when I come down, my office is on the 1st floor. So like this house is a guest wing. It's like the 1st floor is designed, I don't know what they call it, but in Houston, the city, it's like if you were to have a roommate or an Airbnb, your bottom floor is designed for like that. If you want to rent out your room to somebody, it's completely private. It separates off from the rest of the house. It's got its own bathroom. It's got its own walkway. It's got its own bedroom, everything. And so it's completely separate from the rest of the house, which is perfect for my streaming room. So I'm down here at the 1st floor and on the bottom. Every morning I'm walking up and down the stairs. So much work. Elevator would be great. Most of your garden outside got beat from the summer drought. Dude, I'm telling you, was this the hottest summer you guys had in Oklahoma? Because I went to Kansas to visit my brother. And the hottest week on record Kansas has ever had. And that it was in August, right? And dude, it was like brutal. It was like 119 degrees outside my brother's house. No rain, all that heat didn't go while your garden inside. Lights kick on at night and those look pretty good. Oh yeah, do you do indoor gardening? I'd love to do that. I just don't have any space on the inside of my house to do any indoor. I'd love to set that up. Dude, it was that hot. It was fucking crazy. It's like a mother-in-law suite. Yeah, like a mother-in-law suite. And it's cool. It's separated from the rest of the house, which is nice. But I'm looking for a new house, to be honest. Like I said before, we're looking to move cities. It's just right now, it wouldn't be a lateral move. It would be like a little more expensive to move anywhere for a downgrade. For sure. Because we wanted to be closer to Nicole's family, but we're in a really kick-ass situation where we are now. Like I got the best house, the best price. I mean, it's like super golden. If I were to stay here for 5 years, my house would be worth about 1.5 to 2 mil. So this is an up and coming area. I'm the first one in the neighborhood with a big ass fancy house in the middle of a bunch of shacks, literally shacks, like 100-year-old houses that are boarded up that say no entry on the front. They were lived in 50, 60 years ago, probably, and they've been abandoned ever since. Developers are buying them, ripping them down, and I'm like one of the oldest parts of Houston. It's finally starting to get built on. It's cool. It's very historic too. Like to walk down the roads and see all this cool stuff. But if I move to another city, ain't no way I'm gonna be in as sweet of a deal as I'm in now. I'm gonna be in reverse order. So we were thinking we might keep this house here and move to Dallas for a year and just rent for a year to be close to their family. She has like a new niece that she wants to spend more time with the family. And so then we might come back here after a year. We're figuring it out. So I might rent this house out and then take that money and rent the other house. Hopefully I can dollar for dollar make it a lateral move as much as possible. The house we were looking at moving to is really nice. Has a yard. Not as nice as this one, but nice. Like really nice for like other purposes. I could have a yard and be like, okay. But then I'm like, if I start my garden there and I gotta move it, I don't like it. I honestly am not a fan. Not a fan of Dallas either. Compared to Houston, Houston's so much more stuff to do and better restaurants and better nightlife. So, but we have more friends and family in that area, so we'd have more fun there because we would be doing like family cookouts and game nights and stuff. So the city I don't really care about too much, but having family nearby and always having a house full of people would be fun. No, it's not. No, I'm not saying it's a bad city. It's definitely Dallas, an amazing city. I'm just compared to Houston. Houston wins on like my checklist every level on the things I like to do. Houston just is a superior atmosphere for like the things I like. I live in Houston, Texas. I love all the cities in Texas now. No, I'm not dogging on my friends in Dallas or the city. Like Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, they're all kick-ass cities. But Houston just has my heart. It's like, and it's the restaurants. Honestly, I would rank Houston as in the top 1 or 2 cities in the country as far as restaurants go. It is the new culinary hotspot of America. There are like, we're like the most diversified, culturally diversified city in the country now. It used to be New York, I think. So imagine having, pick any country. They got a restaurant here somewhere. A little segment of Houston where there's that culture in a restaurant somewhere. And you find all kind of neat, just cool, neat stuff. Everywhere you look, and it's such a huge city, so it's fun. That's the downsides though. It's like it's hot. You fucking drive everywhere. You can't walk place to place. So spread out. Take you an hour to drive from one side to the other. Sometimes longer, but I live like right in the middle of the city. Like skyscraper, I can look up and there's skyscrapers right there. Have I been to Balcones in Waco? I have not. I haven't been to Waco in a long time. I used to go to Waco every year when we were kids because for the Little League World Series, my brother and I both played baseball. And the state tournament was always in Waco. So I would go when I competed, and state my brother would go when he competed. And we would go to Waco a bunch. We'd go to the Dr. Pepper Museum and the Branch Davidian Compound Ruins. So that's all that we ever did. We were too young to drink whiskey, so obviously didn't, but it'd be fun to check it out. I love distilleries, dude. I would love to check that out. Okay, there's that risk and reward hedge pusher bounce. One could have taken it. I decided to sit out. Small account challenge. Clearly I don't want to overtrade. I'm calling it a day. So I'm pretty much cool on this. You know, we're up 10% already in the account. Little good there. Happy to see that. Orders. Wasn't that big of a trade. Could have been a little better, but oh well. Pretty happy about it. Yeah, dude. Carl, dude, I'm gonna check it out if I ever go through there. But yeah, back to the garden talk. I like to me, I was always a weirder kid. I fit in with everybody, but I didn't fit in with anybody at the same time. I was always doing my own thing, and I think people liked that I didn't give a fuck growing up. I would be like the kid that went to like the preppy and jock parties, and I had a blue mohawk and a skateboard, and people just didn't care because I didn't care. So I was always doing my own thing. I was always like weird. I was like a hippie alternative kid. I loved surfing. I loved nature, but I was also like the scariest kid at the math tournament because I would wear like all black and my hair would be like long and people thought it was weird. At a time when being weird wasn't cool. Nowadays being weird is cool. Everybody wants to be weird and different. Very acceptable. Back then people look at you funny if you had like a Nirvana t-shirt on, and like people are like, who's that weirdo that likes Nirvana? And so like I always just kind of just did my own thing when I was a kid. So I got into like a lot of nature-y stuff. I was big in nature, big in photography, big in surfing. Anything that had to do with the outdoors, I was such a just nature hound. Like I would go sit under a tree and read a book as a kid. In school, like at lunch, when people would just hang out with their friends, I would be like reading a book. Just because I was, and then like I got into gardening at a young age because my dad did it. So all my life I've been to gardening. Again, it's like outdoors, sunshine, something about it, man. It's just like so invigorating. It's quiet, probably because my brain is not quiet. My brain is so loud, and it's like, that's my one way of like quietening my life, which is kind of nice. That's why I love gardening. This is like challenging. Plus it's fun to like, it keeps your brain active to remember like all the things about all the little things you need to do. So it's just like each plant has a slightly different thing you have to memorize about it, like soil pH, how much water it likes, how much sun it likes. Should you know, it's just fun to like do that kind of stuff and relax. Like it's kind of like a reset moment. So I advise everybody to find something that resets you. That's the opposite of the loudness of what you do. So if your work is really quiet and you're bored, then reset you with something loud. If your work is really loud like mine is, then reset with something quiet. You always got to like stimulate yourself in the opposite direction to kind of like palate cleanse what your job does to you. Stoic. Yeah, dude, it's like, that's how I feel. It's like stoic. You can just kind of like, you can hear the world getting quiet around you. Like the rustling of the wind through the leaves just kind of has like this cool serenity to it. It's kind of nice. But it's also challenging too. And also tests your ability to nurture something and like commit to something and be good. And anytime you're doing something like for yourself, self-improvement, you're nurturing your own self, right? So that's a good way to practice keeping something alive and being committed to something. Forcing a good habit on yourself is what we teach traders as well. You try to break gambling habits or over trading habits, you need to replace your addictive personality to be addicted to something healthier, because you never get rid of like an addictive personality. So be addicted to something different. And that's kind of the way that we teach people. You overtrade. You can't just say, hey, stop overtrading. Okay, I'll wake up and do that tomorrow. You won't be able to do it. It's like saying, hey, you need to quit smoking tomorrow. The only way to get people to quit smoking usually is to get them addicted to something else that's healthier. And the addiction just shifts that need for dopamine into a new activity. And so like, if you have this addictive personality and you need to develop good habits to break bad habits, don't be like, okay, I'm gonna start breaking my bad habits. Instead, commit your life to start incorporating good habits into it, and you will immediately become addicted to the good habits and get bored with the old stuff you used to do, because the benefit will give you more dopamine. You'll quit the bad stuff. So like gardening is a great way to become better at trading in a roundabout way, because you are developing good habits to nurture, to grow something slowly. And that's exactly what you're trying to do with your trading account. Committing to patience, committing to don't go out there every day and be like, what the fuck, why is my garden not growing with it? And you just know it's small incremental changes, little by little tweaks here and there, but you're being patient with it. Those are great habits to have as a trader. I always tell people is like commitment type habits like that are really good to get you out of that got to have a gain now, got to have money now mentality. So any habit, I always tell people you need some habits to do. Get up, and if you don't pick up gardening, get up and make your bed every morning. Like give yourself a routine that's going to incrementally enhance your life somewhat better. So every time you go to the grocery store, return your shopping cart. Literally walk it to where it needs to go. It's a good habit. It helps people. You start developing like smaller good habits, you feel better about yourself. You start to learn about patience and thinking about what you do, being conscious about what you do before you do it. Being conscious about the benefits of things before you do them. You'll think about your risk better before you make a trade, because you're thinking about, I don't want this shopping cart to ding someone else's car. You're consciously paying attention to things around you, and that's a skill set of a trader. You have to really be paying attention to everything around you and be focused on being conscious about that, which is why, as I keep saying earlier to Roth, it's really hard to play by play and be a focused master of your craft. It's just something a master wouldn't ask another master to do. They'd understand the requirements are almost like a meditative type focus. But the amateur looks at trading like it's just push a button and make money. And that's further from the truth. The master is very meditative and focused on everything they need to focus. And it's hard to break that focus. That's why it makes it hard to trade while you stream and while you build a platform. It's not easy because I don't get the focus like I used to. Now, if it's just me in a room and trading, dude, I'm like a monk. All right. So market's trading higher a little bit. Obviously, today was not a short setup call. Today I was looking for longs. I didn't take anything else from here. Market is looking to press a little higher. VIX is going to find lower lows last couple of days. It's looking pretty clean. Like I said, it's just not entirely actionable, except I would have got the long and hedge pressure, but I just didn't. I'm going to overtrade, so I'm going to call it a day. It's pretty good. Up 10% on the small account, which I like. So far, so good. They always come out the door. Taking it easy, being, you know, like I said, I sat out for a couple of days. I'm not trading every day. Art of mastery of trading is to know what looks good and take it. Scale your risk with your confidence. Very confident you want to bet harder, not so confident bet low. Not every trade that I like I even take. I found a couple of good bangers today I didn't take. I found one that I took that was great. So anyways, you guys want to check out the Rock Cedar platform. $35 a month extended trial for 3 months. Pardon me. You can get our full platform. You get our full platform, data feeds, all the tools at your disposal. You can learn what it is that we do here. Play with resilience, play with liquidity maps, play with DD. You can have all that fun. There's a full boot camp. It's months of training that will walk you through all these things. Learn to trade like a pro. We'll teach you everything you need to know. We'll see y'all later. Zoom call, a couple hours, probably about noon Central, and we'll hit you guys up. Link will be in the Discord. Pro Plus members. If you need Pro Plus, message me. I'm coughing. Still have a little tickle in my throat. If you need Pro Plus, message me. I'll give you the information on how to upgrade your platform. If you're in the extended trial, you do not have Pro Plus. You didn't know we have a daily Zoom call. That's probably why. I'll give you all the information how to upgrade. We have a deal going on right now. We'll see y'all later.